Welcome to Teaching Crypto on this wonderful Monday. Hey, please hit that subscribe, bell notifications, super chats in the store are open. I'm speaking to the guy that just had to cancel his trip to the state of Hormuz this morning. So that is Mr. FOMO. In all seriousness, we got some decent news as Bitcoin is yesterday when we were with you, we were struggling to quite honestly hold 99K. We're back over 101. It doesn't mean that good times are ready to roll, but there were some major buys this morning that we want to talk about. But it was good to see Bitcoin kind of rally just a little bit here. And we were afraid yesterday when we left our viewers on emergency. So if you didn't catch it, go back and watch that we would struggle and get back into the mid to low 90s. So for now, this is good to see. I'll pull up the
Yeah,
one.
to be honest with you, I was under the impression that with things like the Strait of Hormuz being closed, we were we had a chance to see the 80s in play. And so I am very excited to see Bitcoin resilient and back above 100 this morning. So yeah, I'm not shocked that it's there, but I am certainly surprised that with all that's going on, but with people like Michael Saylor and Metaplanet buying in bulk, and finding out that Citi is one of the largest holders of Bitcoin. These are all things that are positive news and that spurred the market, I guess. But I certainly would have thought that we would have stayed in the 90s for a little bit longer with everything that's going on.
Yeah, so let's talk about this. You might not be aware, but Metaplanet is a Japanese company, and they bought 1,101, nice, easy number to remember, worth of Bitcoin, worth $111 million, excuse me. And they now hold 11,109 Bitcoin, worth 1.11 billion. So this is like a small Michael Saylor. Also, Michael Saylor hinted yesterday, and more than a hint, every time he posts anything about an orange chart, he's also buying Bitcoin. As of right now, it has not been released. That's normally released around 9 o'clock Eastern by MicroStrategy, how much he bought. I anticipate probably that's already been priced in, to be honest with you. He probably scooped up some Bitcoin below 100K yesterday, would be my guess. I could be wrong. Maybe he bought it before the dip. I don't know. But two major buys here. Good to see. On top of that, and a lot of this stuff can go under the radar because of all the world news.
It's good to see the smart money buying during the dips. It lets you know that there's still a good idea to be involved in Bitcoin.
Oh, wrong one there. But I was going to share as well that for the first time, we have indication that Citi, okay, which is valued at 1.7 trillion, is now one of the 10th largest holders of Bitcoin. And that would have been unfathomable. No one would have believed that 4 years ago. So that really good news as well. And don't forget, this didn't happen till Saturday. You now have 3 states that have passed Bitcoin reserve bills out of 50. We're still early. You'll eventually get all 50 within the next 5 years. It would be my guess. 10 years at the most, right? Between 5 and then the US is coming, other countries are coming. So that's happening. And so there's a lot to be bullish long term. If you kind of see the forest through the trees right now. Right now, the trees are blocking your portfolio from really expanding. As the birds chirp, they're excited about Bitcoin in the background here. I don't know if you can hear them, but I'm not too worried. I mean, I don't think the rest of June's going to be fun, but eventually, if the world settles down, big if with bold and capital letters, I think you'll see one more attempt at a bull run here. Like I said, I'm not giving up. My targets are still between 150 and 180 BTC. Alts, I'm going to be honest with you. Anyone who tells you they know what's going to happen with the alts, they're talking out of their rear end. That's just the reality. Anyone that tells you, oh, this token's going to 10x by August or September, the alts, this has been the most unpredictable alt season ever. There's only been 3 before this. So it's not like we had a history of alt season after alt season after alt season. But this might honestly be the alt season that changes them all. We talked about this. Too many of them. For the first time, an alt season has had to deal with war. Bitcoin, I think, has held up very well. To be over 100K with everything that's happened is kind of crazy to me, right? If you really think about it. But everything else, I mean, you can't be shocked that your alts are getting decimated. The ones we hold are getting decimated just like everyone else's. You can't be shocked that fart coin is not going to the moon.
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. This is the first time in the history of altcoins that we've had so many on the market. There's over 11 million, on our way to 12 million tokens on the market. And that kind of creation, or that kind of token creation, dilutes the market, right? I mean, it's almost like the Fed printing 40% of the money supply and diluting the value of the dollars in your savings account. It's akin to that, and it is the antithesis of what crypto and Bitcoin was supposed to be about. But that is to me the major problem. There's too many coins and not enough money to go around to pump all those coins. But then on top of that, for the first time in the history of Bitcoin and altcoins, we have multiple wars going on, and we've got a chance for the U.S. to get involved in one or continue getting involved in one of them. And so I don't see this huge pump in Bitcoin either coming.
Well, what about peacetime though? Can't you see?
Plan B had us at 130 by the end of June, and we're barely scraping 100. Not, I knock him sometimes, but I don't really mean to. But I'm just saying we were supposed to be at 130 by the end of June, but because of all this stuff that's going on, Bitcoin is where it is.
Yeah. Weren't you and Plan B supposed to get together during Labor Day this year? I heard.
Yeah, I don't think
both of your families are, and that might be canceled the way you're dragging him down here. Just stop.
Yeah, the way I drag this guy's charts and stuff, I should.
He invited you.
I don't really mean to do that. He's probably a nice guy. He works hard. But yeah, we were supposed to be there. I guess me quoting his charts says that I believe in him somewhat. But we were supposed to be at 130 by the end of the month.
Well, he said that was best case. He did say that was best case. He said it was a possibility. He didn't guarantee it was going to happen, but he said it's definitely within the cards. Yeah. Now, here's the thing.
No way of predicting what would have happened.
We were at 111. We were at 111. We were at 111 before the third war. You got tariff war. You got Russia. So we were at 111 at one point. Let's remember that. And now we got to figure out what U.S. involvement looks like. I think that will be clear by the end of this week, right? Was that last weekend it? There were a lot of conflicting reports about what actually did happen, how much damage was created, whether that was for show or an effective military action Saturday night. So I think there's still a lot of unclarity. Watch the markets today as well. Watch gas prices. Bitcoin is a safe haven, but we're kind of still early. Not everyone sees it that way just yet as they do gold. So I'll just say
gas prices are going to go up. There's no doubt about that. Mm-hmm. Iran their parliament voted to close the Strait of Hormuz, right?
That's exactly why you canceled your vacation early this morning.
But I mean, it's important for our viewers to know that 20% of the oil that gets shipped around the world flows through, or not flows.
Now
through,
they have
not actually
disallowed votes to go in yet. It's just a policy situation. They may or may not do it today. We have to wait and see, right? So they voted to do it, but it hasn't been implemented yet. So you haven't seen the markets react to that. So I am very curious to see what happens. Now, again, if there is peace at some point in July, I do think you'll see a pretty strong recovery. That was my best case scenario yesterday. That would give us July, August, September, October, 4 months to run as far as we can before the next bear started in pre-Thanksgiving. I don't think you're going to see fireworks in Thanksgiving because we know the pattern. What happens around Thanksgiving into December? People take profits and they're buying gifts and they're getting ready to pay off their taxes. And so
the Santa rally is a limited idea. It's a limited theory. It really doesn't, there's a bit of a Santa rally around Christmas time, but
if past, I know this is a different cycle, but if past cycles were to be true, you don't want to be in here at the end of December, early January. We learned that the hard way
the best time to get out is especially before Thanksgiving, because every time you go to Thanksgiving and talk about crypto, it seems like,
let's be honest, mid-October before Halloween, you want to have sold everything. Now, if you were a 8 to 12 to 16 year Bitcoin holder, but alts, I mean, I would honestly say take your losses in October. Not financial advice, but whatever you have left and your alt portfolio by mid-October, it is what it is. Now, I'm really hoping we have a rally, and if we do, you better take whatever profits you get, even if your alt just rallies 20% over what you bought it for. Take it. To be honest, I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Make sure you're DCAing.
But some of you that are I'm not. And I was like this before. Well, I'm not taking profits on this until I've at least 2x. That might not be there, guys. That you know what I mean? Like, let's pretend that you got ETH at 3K, it gets to 4K, and you're not happy with that. You're going to miss out. That's what I'm saying. I still think ETH could get to 5K. My projections are still, and you might think I'm insane, BTC 150 to 180, a 5K ETH. Everything else is up for grabs, right? The $2 iOS network, I can't promise you that anymore. I'm just keeping it real. Whenever this settles down, and I think eventually it will settle down. I don't think we're headed for World War III or a nuclear war. Well, I hope I'm right. Otherwise, this show will be over too. Once things settle down in July, I think you will see a rally. But again, it's not going to be a euphoric every day. You look at your chart and your portfolio is doubling and tripling, and you're making vacation plans like Mr. FOMO does every summer. Don't count on that. That's not going to happen. All right. Even Mr. FOMO has had to cancel all his vacations this summer. So keep that in mind when planning yours.
Yeah, we've talked about this, and I feel like I'm beating a dead horse on this particular show, but there's too many coins on the market. There's too little money, and there's too little time. I mean, you just mentioned it. We're running out of time for an alt season, and all of this hinges on the rest of the world not going mad. And the rest of the world is going mad. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it's not even the rest of the world. The United States is going crazy as well. There's unrest here across the nation, riots and protests and all the things that are going on here. So, the market is being held down by a lot of different things. And unfortunately, I just don't see a lot of these things being resolved, in the nick of time.
Well, I think my goal is for this stuff to be resolved over the next 3 to 4 weeks, maybe mid-July, and I think that is realistic. I have some optimism about that. Now we will see if something crazy happens in China or North Korea enters the chat, or Russia gets further involved, then all bets are off. But I'm not ready to go there yet. And but that has implications far beyond this show and the Bitcoin market. That has implications on people staying alive. Let's keep it brutally honest. So let's hope for the best. I would not sell my Bitcoin or ETH for anything like that. I wouldn't even sell my alts right now. Just me, not financial advice. You have some time, but the reality is, have very, very low expectations for your altcoins. That way, whatever you get by October, but you don't have to wait till October. If you get a rally and you're up 50% and you were down 50% a month before, take it.
Yes. Please,
don't listen to the YouTubers.
Wait. Please don't wait. If you get some good price action on your altcoins and you get a profit,
get the hell out. Get the hell out. Don't listen to the $10 Cardano, the $12 XRP.
At the very least, take out the money that you put into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that way you leave yourself a moon bag and you're only playing with house money.
And then you could DCA during the next
year. If you're worried about it still continuing to go up, then take out your original investment and just play with house money from now on.
Yeah,
it's one of the best strategies that I can give you.
But we're not even close. To be honest with you, we're not even close to getting there yet with the alts. Unless you recently bought, you're not. So let's wait and see what happens. Keep it here. We'll have more shows coming on this week. We have a big announcement this week about how you can get our knowledge even more. For AZcrypto, Mr. FOMO, please remember to subscribe, hit that like button, super chats,